People in their own backyards are turning their lenses to the sky to actively track the Artemis II rocket.
I was reading about this. They are tracking the light curve, right?
Exactly.
So as the rocket ascends and travels, sunlight reflects off its hull. And a light curve is basically just a graph measuring the intensity of those reflected photons over time.
You nailed it. And by tracking those tiny fluctuations, everyday people are validating the spacecraft's trajectory and rotation.
That is so cool.
Yeah, they aren't just passively watching. They are actively generating mission data. It totally democratizes space exploration.
But while the public is looking on with all this optimism, the crew themselves are facing a deeply hostile environment because the reports today are focusing heavily on a very specific, terrifying variable: space weather.
Right, specifically the threat of solar storms.
And when we say solar storm, we aren't talking about wind and rain out there.
No, not at all. We are talking about coronal mass ejections.
The sun essentially just belching out massive clouds of charged particles, like plasma and magnetic fields traveling at millions of miles per hour.
Yeah. Here on Earth, our magnetosphere catches most of it, which is why we get the beautiful northern lights.
Right.
But out in the void between the Earth and the moon, that radiation would just tear straight through human DNA. It is one of the most significant barriers to deep space colonization.
Because it makes you sick.
Extremely sick. High-energy protons can cause acute radiation sickness, severely damage the central nervous system, and even permanently degrade the spacecraft's avionics.
Wow.
That is why the Orion capsule has a specialized built-in radiation shelter.
Wait, how does a radiation shelter work inside a spaceship?
So if the sensors detect a solar flare, the astronauts have to physically relocate to a reinforced central hub. And then they pack their own high-density supplies. We're talking water tanks, food rations, equipment bags. They pack it all around themselves to absorb the incoming radiation.
That's intense, like building a fort out of your own water supply.
Yeah, it's a sobering reminder that space actively wants to kill us.